But on this first segment of the program, let's try and revisit that advocacy against drugs and substance abuse. Now, there are lots of issues confronting Nigerians. Of course, there's hunger on the one hand, and then we have so many other things too that are cropping up. But drugs and substance abuse has been on the front burner for several years, all right? The NDLEA have been, picking up people who are, trafficking drugs and all of that. But we have the other side, a lot of people that are consuming drugs, some getting addicted and creating more problems for the society. I have a woman and her NGO who's been doing all that they can to really, really limit the effects of drugs and substance abuse on the society. And she's joining us via the phone line this morning. I have Mrs. Titilola Adebayo, who is the founder of the Paroche Richout Foundation. All right. Nice to have you join us, madam. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Victor. How are you?
I'm very good. And how are you too?
We thank God. I'm fine.
All right. I know this campaign has been on the front burner for you for several years now, and we've been talking about this. So how are you doing with the Paroche Foundation?
We are doing good. We are moving on, and so far so good. God has been helping us. We just commissioned our rehabilitation center early this year, February, and God has been so good.
All right. How long have you been campaigning against drugs and substance abuse?
Well, Paroche Richout Foundation was officially commissioned in 2013.
Okay, so make that 11 years now.
Yes.
Okay, and in these 11 years, how has it been? I mean, you've been doing a whole lot, but what are some of the outstandings that you had?
We have been going from school to school, having school campaign against substance abuse and addiction. We have been working seriously on counseling. We have school, the counselors in secondary school, Lagos State. We have been able to gather together to be able to help them to relate with the students in Lagos State. And it has been a wonderful experience. We have the support group. We have crisis intervention for those who are struggling with substance abuse and they seem not to know the way out, or if you have a family member who has been having issues with substance abuse and addiction, we intervene and then we help the family in getting respite, or do referrals, or even getting them to rehabilitation centers.
All right. So
we do peer
to prayer. Yes, you said
we recently have Color Me Right in that was a very wonderful one, heart and display of heart in this, telling the world the evil effects, the detrimental effects of substance abuse. The schools where they enjoyed themselves, and it was a very wonderful, transforming experience for the secondary school students.
Right. So I'm curious now. Is it that your NGO is totally based on this advocacy against drugs and substance abuse for the young ones alone? Is it just for secondary school children, or what's the target group?
No. It is for everybody. Although our focus is more on the youth, secondary school, university, undergraduates, even because of this move, we have primary schools now being involved in drug abuse, and because of that, we got a platform for them. We call them the Paroche Sunbeam. Right. And for secondary schools, they are Paroche Pathfinders. And for university undergraduate, they are the Paroche Club members.
All right. So
for those who are graduates, mommy, daddy, uncles that are struggling and they want to be part of the advocacy, they call them paraphrasing. They are our friends.
All right.
And then we can always come out and do something great for.
So how prevalent? So how prevalent is drugs and substance abuse in Nigeria from the perspective of Paroche?
When we started, it was just like a drop in the ocean, and it was not so. But this time around, Victor, it is alarming. It's scary. Every street, every corner, every community, we have all these young people, even grown-ups, adults, young adults, getting involved with substance abuse. Some are even ignorant of it. They think it's life. And it's destroying, it's killing. The population is now, the number of people involved in drug abuse is explosive. We just have to do something to save the life of the coming generation.
Right. So for those that come to your rehabilitation centers, is it from there that you get to know that this is increasing, or how do you get to find out this fact that there are so many people that are already, being addicted and all of that?
We relate directly with the public. We have all our partners on ground, NDLE, NAFDAC, organization. We partner together. We collate information. We have public awareness program, free living walk, and in that process, we're able to gather information as to what is going on and how we can handle the issue of drug abuse and addiction.
All right.
In fact, that is why we are going into another area, because alcoholism, the issue of alcohol has really dived into the nitty-gritty of the society, that it is causing depression.
Right.
And that is why we want to go into that area of depression in the next few months.
All right. So before we talk about the depression component, which we want to delve into, let's reflect a bit on what is happening right now, the current realities of things. We're having the harsh, biting economic realities facing us right now. Not too long ago, people were engaging in hunger protests and all of that. Is that not a resultant effect? I mean, wouldn't that cause people to go into drugs and substance abuse?
Let me tell you, the fact that you have an issue is part of the face of life. And if our economy is nosediving, or we have a global crisis, going into drug abuse and addiction will not solve the problem. We just have to move on. Life is full of ups and downs. And the only thing we can do is to look at the positive. How can we move ahead? How can we, go into creativity? How can we recreate our mind, restructure our thinking, but not to go into substance abuse that is going to be destructive? Rather, we should look at ways in which we can navigate our path and get respite. You take drugs. Does that solve the problem when the thing wears out? No. The only thing we can do is make use of your talent, look at what you can do to improve yourself. And then if you, by chance or by accident, ignorantly go into substance abuse through peer pressure or let me hang around, it is time to stop. It is time to rethink. It is time to look for help if you can't even help yourself.
Right.
Because the problem is destructive.
Let's talk about the depression component, which you said the Paroche Richout Foundation is heading towards that right now. What's this idea? What's it all about?
Yes, recently we discovered that a lot of people are really thinking of ending it all. Don't even know what to do. They have pains. They are downcast. They are stressed up. They don't even know what to do, and that makes them to feel depressed. Sometimes they even go to the extent of suicidal thoughts, and that is why Paroche Richout Foundation have decided to have anti-depression seminar coming up in the next 3 days.
Okay.
It is to help the adults, parents, guardians to have a lifelong health. It's going to talk about the prevention of childhood and adolescent depression.
Okay.
In our community. Gone are the days when we think it is for the old people or people that are in a foreign land. It has come to stay in our community. And how do you imagine a child telling you, I'm depressed?
In fact,
what is going on?
I've heard that before, and I was wondering that the young ones get depressed. All right.
So you keep wondering, what is the meaning of this?
Right.
But we know we have, we're going to talk, not just talk, we have experts, experienced people, knowledgeable ones with wisdom that will give us the antidotes on how to prevent childhood and adolescent depression in our community. We are also going to talk about the great awareness of reclaiming life from the grip of depression and suicide. These are issues, and we have experts, doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists, experienced people who have gone into it and they were able to swim out of depression. Right. How have they been able to do that?
So when is it coming up? When is it coming up?
It's coming up on the 21st of August.
Okay.
3 days time.
That's 2 days.
Wednesday,
2 days from now.
Yes, at Nigerian Institute of Medical Research, Yaba.
Okay.
We are all welcome.
All right.
It's free.
Right. So we have this. We have some messages that are coming in for you here. There's some messages here. This one says, "Good morning, Traffic Radio." It says, "Can Mrs. Adebayo share her thoughts on the effectiveness of current laws and regulations in curbing drugs and substance abuse in Nigeria?" This is Jerry from Igondo. So, do you think laws in Nigeria has been able to help at all in curbing this drugs and substance abuse?
Well, yes and no. Yes, in the sense that where there is no law, the people become lawless. And, in the process of you trying to feel that you can do anything you like, you can destroy the life of other people. So it is important for us to have a limit, to have that guide. And even then, the law in place is to safeguard every one of us. It is for our own good. However, the issue of not effecting the law does not mean that we don't know the implication. Right. There is always, for every action, there is a
kind of reaction too.
So, yes, a reaction. So when I say the law will be in a way, our own foundation is to help those who have been struggling with it and they want solution, and we are there to help them.
All right. There's another message here. It says, "Good morning. How does Paroche Richout Foundation collaborate with schools and educational institutions in addressing drugs abuse?" Bola Tito is sending that one in. And there's another message here. It says, "Mrs. Adebayo, how do you ensure that your message reaches the most vulnerable populations, such as street children or those in high risk areas?" This one did not put his one there. All right.
Thank you. The first one is to let me first of all answer the second one. We have been, for the past few years, we have been going about public awareness. We do free living work. We have been to Mushi, we've been to Aja, we've been everywhere. I mean, name it. Do street walk, do campaign, radio, like this one is also part of it. Television awareness. We have been doing it in our own, with the strength we have and with the support of NDLA and all stakeholders. We have been trying to reach those areas that are, that are prone to such abuse.
All right.
And that we have been doing by the grace of God. The second aspect is we have been collaborating with the Ministry of Education, Social Development, Youth and Social Development.
Okay.
They know us. They have affirmed and approve our intentions. Most of the schools in Lagos, secondary schools in particular, know Paroche Richout Foundation.
Right.
But if we have not been to your school, just invite us. Will come.
All right, then. So let's begin to take this home now because of time constraints. You said you have this seminar coming up on Wednesday. Who can be part of it?
Yes. You are all invited.
Okay.
You're all invited, and it is between the hour of 10 and 1 p.m. on Wednesday.
It's a one-day event?
It's just a one-day event for 3 hours.
All right. Okay, then. And who are the speakers?
Oh, yes, we have wonderful people like the MD of Federal Neuropsychiatry Hospital, Dr. Woeye, will be around. Dr. Mrs. Oluwafumilayo Akinola will be present. There is a chief consultant psychiatry in Oshodi. We have also Dr. Bonjubola Abiri, and is the CEO of Red Med Consulting Services. We have also Dr. Motayo Ajirotutu. He will be around. We have experts like Professor Makinde. All the people that have experienced life, they will be there seated, and we have ministers of God that will also minister. You counsel people. There will be a panel discussion that you will be free to ask your questions, and you will have respite for your soul.
All right, then. We'll leave it at that for now. For those who want to get in touch with Paroche Richout Foundation, how can they do that?
You can call us on some of our team members on 0703 470 9051.
0703, yeah.
490 9051. You can also reach us on 0802 911 076.
All right. We'll leave it at that for now. Madam, it's nice having you on the program. Thank you so much for connecting with us.
Thank you so much, Victor.
All right. She is Mrs. Titilola Adebayo, who is the visionary of the Paroche Richout Foundation. And we've been trying to step up advocacy against drugs and substance abuse. A brief break. When we return, we're trying to do our birthdays.